what's up everybody? Welcome back to our channel. Hey, if you're new here, please click that like and that subscribe, and don't forget to bang that bell notification. This way you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Well, what's today's video all about? You saw the thumbnail. Am I upgrading or downgrading Spaceball? That's right. What am I doing? Is it an upgrade or a downgrade? That's up to you to decide. For me, it's an upgrade. What am I doing? I am removing the forward controls off of Spaceball, and I'm going back to mid controls. Now I'll explain to you why. Okay, so we're looking at Spaceball here. I do have the forward controls. These are from Harley Davidson. I have no complaint with them. I do have the Arlen Ness foot pegs on them. I do have other styles I'll be putting on them that I got off of Amazon, and I hope they do okay. If not, then I'm going to start looking around at different brands. But I'm going to a mid control, and I kept all my mid controls that I had when I changed them over to forward controls. Now the reason being is with the new handlebars and risers, I'm not that comfortable as I was with the stock bars with the forward controls. So now I'm less comfortable. So I wanted to do something to help my comfort and convenience on the bike. But I reached out to our friends at Santoro Fabworks. There you go. There's their QR code, guys, if you want it. There it is. And they gifted me. We collaborated together. We got their Softail shifter arm in gold, and then their adjustable brake lever in gold as well. When I mean adjustable, I mean this bad boy, which will sit this way, this goes on here like this. This here will adjust wherever I want it. So if you have any ideas about the Softails with getting to the brake, to apply the brake, it's almost non-existent. This will fix that issue. So I got a fix for the rear braking issues on the M8 Softails with the mid controls. So guys, I hope you enjoy this. I know I will. So without any further ado, let's get going. Let's dig into this, and let's make it all happen. We'll start on, well, actually we'll start on this side. All right, to get started, we're going to start right here, these two bolts for the master cylinder. I'm just going to loosen everything first. So we're just going to loosen this one up. And of course, as we reinstall, we'll be using some blue thread locker that the book calls for. And this got stuck. Maybe I'll run this back in, get my tool off. There it is. And I knocked the camera. Oops. All right, so I guess we'll start down here. What is needed here? It's a T45 Torx bit. So we're going to go right in here with this one. And then we'll do this one. And let me get these off, and I'll show what it looks like. All right, so I got the foot support off. Now we're going to work on the brake lever and disconnect that from the master cylinder. There were some fixes out there for this, for the rear brake cylinder not being engaged or engaging fully. And I did that, which was, if you look here, there's a jam nut on the inside, and what you do is you bring this out as far as you can, picking up your brake pedal higher, which really didn't work out so well for me. On the back side, there is a little circlip that we have to get off, which is right here. And we're saving all this hardware, guys. I'm going to pull our pin. Be careful, there might be a little washer in the back. And there wasn't, okay. So we'll move this out of the way. Oh, I got still more thread here. Oh, there's a nut on the back. I forgot about that nut, but that's okay. It's been 4 years since I've had these on. So it's been a good run with these forward controls. But with the way I'm riding this bike now, really not too conducive to have the forward controls anymore. All right, so that's just about off. Move that brake pedal aside. Actually, I'm going to keep all the forward control stuff together and continue on. All right, now we'll get back to the brake master cylinder. We'll get this off. And it's okay, guys. I'm not removing or disconnecting any of the brake lines. You don't have to, which is a good thing. And while we're here, we'll look at our brake fluid. And it looks kind of low, but when I'll go through this shortly and make sure everything is good to go when we're done. Because you got to be good to go. If you're not good to go, you're not good to go. All right, so there's that. All righty. So now, what's left? We got this bolt here, down here. That's holding all this together, and that, I believe, is a T40. Let me get the T40. All right, let me work this. Okay, I got my 3 mounting holes cleaned. No residue left over from thread locker. Now I also cleaned the mounting hardware. So we're going to put this on. And I'm only going to put it on one right now because the other 2 I'm going to put in there temporarily. And when I show you the reason why, you'll sit there and go, ah, that makes sense. Oh, hold on. We don't want to cross thread. There we go. So I'm going to put this in here loosely just like that. And I'm just going to run the other 2 in. Get it nice and tight. And the reason behind all that is I want to get the master cylinder, the rear master cylinder mounted and in its location. Just like that. It'll tighten this one up because since it's already got thread locker on it. So, with that being said, now we'll put on our rear brake master cylinder. So, this piece will go here, just like that, and I put the pin and the snap ring in it, but I got to grease this. Let me grease that real quick. All right, it's lubricated. And what do I use for lubrication for this is, believe it or not, I like to use brake caliper grease that you could find at any auto parts store for your car. So I'm putting the pin back in. It just takes a little bit to line everything up. There we go. And now the pain in the neck part, which is installing this pin. Sometimes it's easier to put it all together before, but you know, I'm not that smart sometimes. And I don't like taking things back apart again to do it. Okay, there we go. That pin is in and it's secured. Beautiful. So now we're going to go through and make sure this one is good and tight. Oh, and also going to clean up the bolts for the master cylinder. So let me do that real quick and we'll mount our master cylinder. Okay, I got our bolts nice and clean and I'm using the Turbo Fuse thread locker that I found at the Nutty Bolt Company here in Milford, Connecticut. All right, so how much thread locker do you use? Just a little bit, guys. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit, just like that. So I'm gonna wind this up, start by hand. Gonna do the other one, which is right here. Put a little thread locker on there. And then we'll run those home. Oh. helps if I get the gun going in the correct direction. All right, so tighten this up, make sure it's good and tight. Good and tight. Now we'll tighten up, need my T45, and we'll make sure that this one is good and tight as well. There we go. Now I'm going to take these two bolts out. Well, before I do that, I know I'm all over the place today. I need to reinsert this bolt. It has a flat washer, which goes through here, which keeps this arm from walking out on you. The nut goes on the inside. Okay, which is right there, which this could be a real pain. There we go. Now that is a T40, and I need to get a 1/2 inch wrench on the inside of that. Let me grab the wrench. All right, grab my 1/2 inch wrench, and it's a little bit of a dance to get in here with the wrench, but believe it or not, yes, you can do it. Just like that. No thread locker on this because this is a lock nut. So what I'm going to do is now, even though I ran that in with the gun, I'm going to make sure it's tight. And that's tight. All right. Get my wrench out of there. Now, we're going to take the T45, remove these 2 screws from the bottom. Because if you remember, I had to, we cleaned those out. But before we get started with all that, we need to run the arm that connects to the actuator here for the rear brake. And that is already installed here on my bike, but I do have to take this apart and clean it. So let me get that done. Okay, I got that bolt nice and clean, as you can see. I'm going to, this is a 3/16, by the way, right here. Put this inside the actuator, the spacer that goes with it, and I'm going to put a little thread locker on here because there is no lock nut or lock washer or anything. So just a little bit will do you. So I'm going to take this and just start it by hand. And take my 3/16 and run that right in. And since it stayed there, I'm going to grab my ratchet and make sure that that's also nice and tight. As you can see, okay, it's moving, but a little bit of movement out of it. Beautiful. Now, this here will go here, just like this. But we have spacers that go there. And like I said, I saved everything from the kit. So we're going to put everything together like it's supposed to. So I'm going to start with the back. I'm going to put a little thread locker on there. Alrighty. Now that's a T45. And I'm going to grab my extension that I had. I don't know where that, oh, here it is, right here in front of me. And I'm going to start this by hand. All right, that goes in there. Okay, I got our longer screws. I never throw out hardware, and this is the reason why, because you never know when you need the longer hardware. And I needed the longer hardware. All right, so let's put this one back together with the spacer, because we need the spacer. If that makes sense to everybody now. Definitely need the spacer. And I'm going to need to get a swivel head 3/16 on there. Nice thing about having my toolbox right here, whatever I need is right there. Alrighty, so we'll run this one right in. And just like back to almost factory, we have a mid control on the right side. So let me tighten this one up. And once this is nice and tight, there we go. We're going to start working on the rear brake arm from Santoro. Let's do that now. So now I got to take this side off, which again is that 3/16. Again, if I was smart, I would have definitely done this ahead of time. And that's I believe looks like a T27. Yes, that's a T27. Let me turn you so you can see what's going on right here. See, this is the T27. So let's back this bad boy out. Oh, we need the ratchet. All right, so now we broke it free. Pull that bad boy out. And now I got that off, we will break this one free down here. You know what? I'm just going to remove this one and take it all off together and be done with it, because I should have done that in the beginning. All right, whoop, there it goes. So that's off. Now, I'm going to take this one off so I could transfer it over to the new brake arm. Let me get the stuff transferred over. All right, I got everything transferred over. Fresh Loctite on this, which is the T27. And we'll run that one home and tighten it up as well. Get you nice and tight, or as they say in Germany, good tight. There we go. And we have free movement. So what I need to do is get that little spacer back where I gotta find it. Now let me find it and I'll get back to it. Okay, now that we have the first half of the Santoro brake pedal, now we're gonna do the adjustable part, which I'm really excited about, because I could set this here, or I could set it, where's the high, that's the highest setting, which I think I might leave it there. I can always adjust it afterwards, but just so everybody has an idea of the different adjustments, that's another one. And that's probably going to be right with stock, that it's in line. If I wanted to run it lower, I can. And again, down further. I really like these from Santoro. I think these are it. Actually, I think that's just a little too high. Let's see, another notch down maybe? Nope, that's stock. So that's a little too high. That's all the way too high. Okay, so we'll go right to there, because I want to have this higher than what's on there. And is this a 3/16? Yes, it is. So we'll run this bad boy in. And there is a self-locking nut that goes on the inside, so we don't have to worry about thread locker on this. And I believe this is 1/2 inch. We'll find out in a second. Nope, 7/16. For tight tolerances, look at that. That's cool, huh? We'll get in there and, oh, no, no. Grab the wrong size, darn it. There we go, good and tight. The way it's supposed to be. Now my heat shields make sense being all the way back here. This actuates and releases with no problem. I'm digging it. I do want to check the tightness of this bolt because it was installed by Santoro, which I'm sure it's fine, and it is. Now, we have to get our spring and our pin off of our foot peg. Even though I'm not reusing this foot peg, I do need it. So, let me get this foot peg disassembled and we'll reassemble a new one together. My foot peg, if you see the style I'm going with, more of a stunt style or MX style, if you will. There we go, right here, see it? Nice. But what's cool is I get a whole bunch of brass little teeth that thread into here. So with a little bit of help from some red Loctite or thread locker, I'm going to put them in, tighten them down, and we'll get back to it. All right, guys, so I got the foot peg on. It works the way it's supposed to. Got the brake lever on. That looks good. The mid controls are back on. I have free access to my master cylinder again, where before I did not, because the foot controls were here. But that's okay. So that's it for the right side. So I'm going to clean all this up. We're going to go to the left side, and we're going to get that side done. I'm digging it. I do got to zip tie up my breather element for the crankcase breather. But what do you guys think, huh? Much better. I think it is. And I got them for the rear to match, so I'll be taking these off. And that's what the rears look like right there. Still learning my new camera, guys. So, you know, bear with me. All right, guys. So I got the left side almost all done. I don't think you need me to see removing the 2 bolts, putting 2 bolts in, and putting this foot peg back on. Same thing as the other side. But what's different here is where the shifter will go through the center of the outer primary, inner primary, and out through the inner side. And we do have this piece, which will go inside of here, which will connect our our shifter shaft to our transmission. So let me show you how we got this done. So with the forward control kit, they give you that plug that's over here somewhere now. I'm gonna have to find it. Give me a minute. Okay, I found it. It's right here. So this will go with the rest of the forward control stuff. There's some sealant here. There shouldn't be, because there's a gasket on the inside of this hole. So we take our spiny shaft and we'll slide this through just like that. And did we come through on the other side? I don't think so. Let's take this off. There we go. So now we're through the other side, and I don't know if we could see inside of there, but you see where it is? So I'm going to fish that in, and then we're going to tighten that up before we do anything out here. This way we could rotate it so we could get to the bolt that goes right here. Let me get this done. All right, everybody. So here we are. We're about ready to finish this project. So I'm going to put my toe shifter on from Santoro, which was a gift from them, and I really appreciate it from them. It's a very nice thing they did for me, with the brake arm and the shifter arm. If you guys want these, I will link them in the description down below. I tell you, you can't go wrong with Santoro. Some of the best stuff I've seen, CNC machined, and you know, Just going to make my life so much easier with, you know, the riding position, and definitely with the rear brake issues that I've had, or everybody has on these Softails. So now I just got to tighten up this one screw, which is right down in here, and I'm using an extension just so I could clear the primary. All right. And there you have it, guys. Mid controls are done. Complete with new pegs front and rear. Really giving that stunt bike vibe. All right, guys. Hey, that's it for this video. Hey, if you like this video, please go ahead and give me that like and that subscribe. And don't forget to bang that bell notification. This way, you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Until the next time, I want you to live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.
Like and subscribe.